Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux and the weekly news roundup. Why is my audio not as high as it should be? I think everything's good on the board. Hey, Mr. Board, come here. Alright. I think we're good. Is audio good, guys? It looks a little low on my end, but I think it's alright. So, greetings, everybody. How are you all doing today on this wonderful, glorious, move the kitty cam because Kitty just walked away anyway. Wonderful, glorious day. Oh, now he's stealing the chair. All right, there you go. Moonbase Alpha Grays, greetings. How are you doing? I hope everyone's doing good your way. Kitty TSO, hello, hello. Keegan, the Tennessean, greetings to you. I hope everything's going well in your neck of the woods. You're in Kentucky, right? No, kidding. Let's see. When you update your Linux Mint install, are you only taking security updates normally? Too bad they got rid of the update slider they had some time ago. What do you mean update slider? Oh, you can still select which updates you want. What they got rid of is the ability to. They got rid of the thing that says, you know, level 1, level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. You can still go through and take them. Linux Mint does not push feature updates. It only pushes security updates. So when you're getting your updates outside of a few packages, like web browsers, unfortunately, are usually tied to the feature updates, which is annoying. But yeah, when you're updating it, you're updating everything. Quint Berkeley, greetings. How's it going down your way? I assume that everybody in the world fell over dead now because Georgia completely opened up. Oh, wait, never mind. Like, when an honest report of the Wuhan just came out, they're like, we've tested millions of people. They came up with 6 more cases. Science says. Slowly trying to optimize Kubuntu on the laptop. There you go. Flatpak version of Dropbox is more stable than the version from the official repos. With the official repo as snap package, I don't know. Why would you even use Dropbox? LJ, greetings to you. Android ROM, better lineage is almost ready for production. We have an over-the-air update server now. Very cool, very cool, very cool. Nicholas Steyer, hello, Steyer, excuse me. How's it going there? Matt Smith, greetings to you. Johnny Black, hello. I hear you fine. All right. There's the link if you want to check it out. There you go. Check out the GitHub link there for Quint's ISO. Very cool. Or not ISO, ROM, custom ROM. Does his face pixelate when he moves for anyone? Whoa. But I might. I am on a green screen, so you'll see the green if I do this really fast. Max Programming, how's it going there? Howdy, howdy, Feist and Clarions. How do you manually block kernel updates on Kubuntu? I don't know off the top. Oh, YouTube's here. Assume they already have browser history and contact tracing and are now just verifying it to the masses. There you go. Hello there, Vince. Greetings to you. Greetings to you. We have a fun little show. We got our little mascot, Alexa. Hello, Alexa. Hey, Alexa, we should get us some unicorn meat. Cram the unicorn in the can and make unicorn meat. All right. Enough of that craziness, huh? Brian the Computer Geek, hello there. Glad to see you're still alive. I'm glad to see you're still alive. Down there in Florida, another one that's completely opened up. How's the medical situation down there? Brian is actually a doctor, so how's it looking down there? Hamid, how's it going there? Clean my browser history now before it becomes a crime. Oh, too late. Yeah, well, it doesn't deal with what's on your system. It's what's on your ISP system. This is actually the thing that might actually have to push me over to recommend a VPN or something for some cases. Found out why I couldn't install Windows 8. The EFI bootloader is damaged. Well, that'll do it. Welcome to the New World Order. Welcome to the New World Order. Very cool, very cool. Let's see if I can get the kitty cam set up for the kitty in the office chair. He's like watching me now. He's like, what are you doing? What are you doing, you fool? What are you doing? Turn, turn, turn. Like, when the cat sits like this, I really want to meme that cat. He's like sitting like a person in the chair. It's like, cat, what are you doing? Oof, unicorn cannibalism. You know, why not? Well, why not? Let's see. Brian, we got to get you back on for another show soon, man. Are we about ready to get started, folks? Are we about ready to get started? I guess if we do get started earlier, we might actually wrap up before like 11 o'clock. I'd like to try not to do like a 2-hour one. Nursing homes are under strict quarantine. Otherwise, things turn up. Good. That's exactly what should happen. In fact, I was coming the other day because COVID actually ended up in a couple nursing homes in the county. And I said, yep, we're going to start to see some deaths. And so far now we are up to 6 deaths. And the youngest person who's died from COVID is 74, which is on par with the rest of the statistics. So, yeah, got to be really careful with the nursing homes. And if you work in a nursing home, you also have to take a lot of extra precautions. But yeah, that's how it should be. Everything should like open up except strict protocols over nursing homes and other retirement type communities. That would be a better option. Where are my APC backups? Unit has weak surge protection. Major PC has been off since Tuesday due to a stormy weather pattern. Cannot update it until last Saturday. Wow. All right. Well, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we? And I think we are starting with Synaptergy, which I think we are on target to... Whoa, something went goofy with my camera there. There we go. I think we actually are on target to launch on Tuesday. Audiobook's probably not going to be much later. I actually have hired an audio engineer who I'm now able to knock out like 3 to 5 chapters a day and then just cycling them on over to the audio engineer, and I magically get them back done. Oh, it's so glorious. So the audiobook might be delayed a little bit, but the print book, the ebook is going to be available on the 19th. You will be able to order the ebook directly from either me, and I'm putting it at store.worldwarepress.com. I'll put that in the chat here. And so I'll put that in the chat. You can purchase the book over there. You can already pre-order the print book since everything is on slowdown. I don't know exactly when I'll get the print books here, but I'll have them up into the distribution systems by the 19th. And the audiobooks are going to be like a day or a couple days delay, probably up to a week, maybe a little bit less. So there's that. Streamlabs OBS not available on Linux. I'll have to look at what Streamlabs offers for OBS. OBS obviously is. And I thought all OBS generally needs is a stream key. So as long as you have a stream key, you should be able to do it. All right, let's go ahead and dive on in, shall we? Welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is the Privacy Edition. Before we dive on into the news, my new book, Synaptergy, is set to be due out May 19th. I'm recording this at May 15th. That is 4 days away. You can head on over to synaptergy.com or tlm.li/s for more information. You can actually come over here and read Chapter 1 right on the website, see if Chapter 1 hooks you. And you can actually sign up for the newsletters over here. I did send out coupon codes today. And the next newsletter is going to be when I start to see the book available in the stores and in the audiobook platforms. You can also listen to the sample of the audiobook here. Audiobook will be out maybe up to a week after the 19th. Still working on finalizing a few of those. And most of the rest of the stuff is pretty good. You can head on over to my channel at Writing Done Right to see. I just actually worked on the finalized the front and the back cover for the print book is all done today. I actually did a whole video on that on GIMP. So let's go ahead and dive on in though to our into our news, though. All right, so first and foremost, Amazon is quietly fighting against sweeping facial recognition ban in Portland. I think I wrote Seattle in the description. I'll have to try and remember to fix that. I don't know why. But anyway, Portland has a new bill coming through that's going to outright ban facial recognition in both public and in private situations, like an outright ban, like done. because they're like, there's a lot of problems and challenges. Well, Amazon's like, nah, we don't really want that, but they're trying to be quiet about it. They don't really want to draw attention, but they've spent $12,000 lobbying against facial recognition in one city. That's kind of crazy. They really want to use the facial recognition. The facial recognition for them is really a big meat of what they're doing. Remember the recognition product, which they sell to law enforcement, a huge global nationwide tracking system that they have. Honestly, that's kind of freaky and scary. So Amazon is lobbying against that in Portland, probably other places where you might see that show up. All right, on to the next news from the Register. Stop tracking me, Google. An Austrian citizen files GDPR legal complaint. So this is over the advertising ID, and I'm actually surprised. GDPR actually came out 2 years ago this month. Isn't that shocking? 2 years ago this month is when this stuff came out. And the advertising ID is just now being tested, which is interesting. So this is if you head onto your phone on both an Android device and an Apple device, you can head on into your phone and there is an advertiser tracking ID. So there is an integrated ID on your phone that tracks any company tying into that methodology into the tracker ID of your individual device, which is a terrifying prospect. And yes, Apple and Google both have these. And what the citizen alleges is that you do not have a way around this and you cannot opt out on a paid product like an $800 smartphone. And so he is suing over the existence. Now, Google says, well, you can just go in and reset it. Well, resetting it isn't disabling it. I think Apple, you can disable it. If I remember, you can disable it on Apple. But you can reset it on Google, in which case it'll continuously tie it. So if you change your ID every day, everything that you do kind of basically shows up as a new person. I'm really surprised it took 2 years for somebody to start challenging this stuff. And it's something that definitely does need a little bit of challenging. All right, on to Microsoft's new family safety app is now available to preview on Android and on iOS. So the app syncs with Windows, Xbox devices. Basically, it says, hey, we'll check on everything. You can put this in. You can monitor your screen time, the application usage, the location. Pretty much every single thing is all tied into your wonderful little Microsoft account that is easily available for, government agencies to reach in there and grab all that data at will. Why in the world you'd use a product like this is totally beyond me. And I understand, there's some validity to something like this to make sure that your kids are doing crazy, silly things or not doing crazy, silly things and whatever else. With that, I can understand a little bit, but man, this is just giving way too much information to Microsoft. So it's now available on all these different platforms. Develop healthy habits. Yeah, Microsoft's going to help us develop healthy habits. Hey, Microsoft, why don't you develop the healthy habit of stopping scooping up our data? There you go. All right, Alphabet. This is good news. Oh, this is such good, happy news. Alphabet actually abandons the plan. You guys, where's Anna Rita at? Anna Rita, where are you? Because Alphabet has abandoned the Toronto plan. They're no longer be taking, I think it was at 10 or 20 city blocks in Toronto and making a full-fledged smart city. Among many other reasons, a lot of citizens are going, no, we don't really want Google collecting every bit of data about all of these people. So they're blaming it all on the current pandemic-iness, but at the same time, there were a lot of factors that went into this. You can't blame that one thing when there have been a lot of issues, problems, challenges, and delays and fights over who owns what ever since the beginning. But the good news is that Google is abandoning the smart city in Toronto. Yay! Very good stuff. Very good stuff. And on to the story you probably all clicked on the video for. The Senate votes to allow FBI access to your browsing history without a warning. Now, this is another one of these single vote makes all the different stories. So there's actually an interesting single vote story that kind of goes another direction. This is long ago. If you're unaware, Texas became a state by a margin of a single vote. And he was voted in by the guy who voted for Texas on the single vote, was voted into office by one guy who was also voted into office by one guy. So 3 chain successions of a single vote got Texas in a state, and half of you in Texas love that, and half of you in Texas hate that. All right, this is the half of you that can hate that. So this is a part, so this isn't like a bill that had to go through Senate and then Congress and then signed by the president. This is an extension to a portion of the Patriot Act. So Patriot Act trying to spy on everything. Of course, the Patriot Act has this wonderful pithy new title, because they always love the pithy titles, providing appropriate tools required to intercept and obstruct terrorism act. Oh, how cute. Maybe if these government officials can stop pretending like they're in kindergarten for 5 minutes, maybe they could do something good. But anyway, what happened here is that everything is shut down, of course, and half of the Senate's not showing up because they're like, oh, we got to stay in place. We got to shelter in place, people. So nobody showed up, so they brought this extension to the floor to vote on with almost nobody there. And they kind of knew that almost everybody that was absent was actually going to vote against it anyway. So they needed, I think, 60 votes to not pass it. Basically, it was to add an amendment. The thing was passing either way. The question is, are they adding an amendment that required a warrant to get search history from a U.S. citizen, which is completely, like, this is so unconstitutional. My guess is this is probably going to be challenged and will lose. But that being said, the vote was to put an amendment into the system that would require a warrant. They needed 60 people to pass the amendment, and they got 59. And we know for sure Bernie Sanders was going to vote for this, but he wasn't in session. And so there you go. We can blame Bernie on more, right? Bernie, you didn't go to work, and so this happened. This is what happens when you don't go to work, people. And so what this basically does is, the part of the division here is that if the government's just on a whim, I guess, maybe plays a Flynn and wants to find you guilty of something, they can simply go to your ISP and say, hey, we want all the records. And the ISP company, it's going to depend. Like, Google generally says, hey, we're not giving you anything without a warrant anyway. Microsoft kind of says, we're not giving you anything without a warrant anyway. Allegedly. I'm sure they have backdoor deals where they do. But on paper, on the books, on the surface, they still require a warrant. But this is kind of like, this kind of gets rid of the requirement. And so they could go in and say, hey, we want to see what this guy's looking at. So who do they go to? Well, your ISP to look at your DNS logs. So unfortunately, this is now causing me to rethink, do I now want to require, or not require, but do I want to now recommend people use a VPN for generic internet searches? Or do I even want to recommend the DNS over HTTPS? Now, maybe what I'll look into doing is how I can establish my own DNS over HTTPS and control that server. That is something that's going to block this, because your ISP can't see what your lookups are if in that case. HTTPS, if the website is encrypted, which almost everyone is now, they can see the URL, but they can't see any data that's going back and forth. So they could see that you're on an individual website, but they couldn't actually see which pages you're looking at. So, you know, if you're on the anarchist cookbook.com, if such a thing exists, I'm guessing it probably does, then, hey, they can actually see that you're over there on bad sites. But if you're on some other weird nebulous site that happens to have a little small section donated, dedicated to such things, they wouldn't be able to necessarily see that as long as encryption is in place. So there's ways around this, like in theory, there's ways to make it a little bit more difficult. But nevertheless, if you're just connecting directly to your ISP, not visiting websites on HTTPS, then it makes it very easy for them without a warrant to just say, hey, we want this data. And then the ISPs are generally saying, sure, why not? Have it. Go for it. So that's what's going on with this case here. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Don't forget, take a look at Synaptergy. We will be running some extra sales here, probably at least for the first month or so, and that's going to go on back up to full retail. So have a look at it now. Link will be in the description down below. Thanks for coming along, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. All right. There's one down, 3 sections to go. 3 sections to go. The cat just keeps moving. He's over here now. Kitty's back here now. Yeah, good kitty. He was on the chair. Now he's just staying right back down here on the floor again. He's just like, yeah, I'm chilling. Alrighty, let's see. 16 Science of UK said COVID is not HCID. Why am I missing what HCID is? Better correct me on that. It's something very, very obvious, I'm sure. Got to a Switch video. Well, very good. We are glad you're here. Oh, high consequence infectious disease. Yeah, I disagree. It's a high consequence infectious disease. I agree. It's a fairly virulent disease, maybe a very virulent disease, but it's not a high consequence for the average person, is what my argument would be. Let's see. Yes, I use OBS. I'm doing the whole show through OBS. This is the end of the world as we know it. Okay, $12,000 is pennies to Amazon. Oh, yeah. They don't want it banned. We do. Yeah. Saddle Ridge, I got to remember to email you tonight or tomorrow. I fixed that one part you left me the note of in the manuscript. I want to make sure I had it worded right now. So hopefully I get that to you and remember. Does the Windows EFI bootloader support Linux Mint? Yes. Like, the UEFI is on the computer. That, yes, Linux Mint supports UEFI. Are you asking about Secure Boot? I don't think Linux Mint supports Secure Boot. I can't remember, though. Several distros do, several don't. I can't keep track of which ones do and don't. Google will soon block battery draining apps on Chrome. Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking about including that, but I already had so many articles. I'm like, I don't need that. Basically, what that was doing is they want to block cryptocurrency collecting application. Yeah. Good evening, Maverick. Greetings. I have a solution for this. Don't use Google Play services. There you go. Yep. Okay. Using Windows bootloader for dual booting Linux is complicated. Yeah, that's why you use Grub. You use Grub because Grub doesn't care if you're booting Windows or Linux. Italy slipped into being literally totalitarian police state with the excuse of the disease, which is treatable at home. Yeah. Yep. Managing young boys and the web was a pain in the late 90s. Had to tell the boy what sites he'd been to, and he was embarrassed. Yep. Little boy. Use EasyBCD and tell Linux not to install Grub. There you go. Pulled up. He didn't like it. His mother was not amused. Uh-oh. Good old-fashioned embarrassment to get him to stop, huh? Try using EasyBCD, change the PC legacy boot, had trouble with it. All right. Okay. TSA preps passenger temperatures at small airports. Oh, God. Yep. Beg CJ a lot to accept my request. No. Check the email later and in the morning. Yeah, if I remember to send it out to you. Anna Rita, you missed your best story of the day. Anna Rita, the good news for you, I'll go ahead and repeat it just for you. Google has abandoned the smart city in Toronto. You're safe. All right. Let's jump on over into the businessy newsiness. Yeah, I was looking for you earlier, Anna Rita. Had to do with the, where's my... Do I still not have a banner for A2 hosting? Why do I not have a banner for A2 hosting at this point in time? Duplicate A2H. We're just going to create a new banner for A2 hosting right now because I'm sick of forgetting to have my banner for it here. Close you, open you, image, Image A2H. Okay, and there we are. Now I have an A2H screen. I don't have to keep on jumping back and forth between everything. Parents did the same to me by asking my brother to look at what websites I was looking at, but they were all surprised I was looking at ladies. Uh-oh. No more spying for me. Party, party. That's right. You don't have to go out and live with Bigfoot yet. Well, at least on that consequence. What if your temperature is 32? Freezing. Yeah, I know. Yeah, kind of scary. The things coming down the pipeline in dystopianism right now is kind of frightening. Where's my corporatocracy? There we are. All right, are we ready? Are we ready? Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. This is the business edition. These are recorded live Fridays, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Before we dive on in, if you are in need of a website to host your business website, hosting for your business website, I can't even talk right anymore. Head on over to A2 Hosting. This is where I'm actually hosting all my stuff. I actually use the VPS to host about 30 different clients. And they just have so many different options, so many different good prices. And the more you buy up front, then the cheaper it becomes down the road. So you buy 6 months at a time or a year at a time, it becomes cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So tlm.li/A2H. Let's dive on into the news, shall we? All right. Oh boy, we're getting to this. Things aren't loading. All right. If I had an evil tech section, this was going to be the part. I just didn't have enough evil tech to include an evil tech section. And so what we're seeing here is there is this new robot called Moxie. How is this? Like, maybe this should have been in the dystopian, but the dystopian section is really reserved for consequences of the thing. And so Moxie is a robot that teaches kids how to relate to humans. Why, Alexa? Why? And so you get a robot that helps your kids learn to socialize. I'm sorry, no. Somebody has their brain up up the wrong hole or something. I don't know. So the idea here is this thing that teaches. It's for kids between like 6 and 9, and it's supposed to be this thing where you sit there, I guess, and stare into its eyes and says, "You will listen to me. You will listen to me. Come, silence. Sell your soul to me." Never mind. So the kid talks to the robot. It's supposed to be educational. It's going to teach him all these little life skills, these amazing things. When are we going to realize that robots cannot take the place of humans? By the way, that's an interesting little point subplot I mentioned in a book I have coming out recently. But anyway, that being said, the computer itself, which looks free. Does this thing look like, I don't know, it definitely has a Thomas the Train Engine component with that face. Maybe it also looks like one of those, the little guys in Star Wars, like the little scavenger guys on Star Wars, one of those, I don't know. But it costs like $1,500, and then it has a $60 per month subscription fee. And then you're supposed to play with it. Let's see. Moxie was built with parenting trend of limiting screen time. Oh, limit your screen time, Johnny. Go play with your robot instead. So Embodied found that children spend an average of 30 to 45 minutes a day with the robot, so they programmed it to get tired after 45 minutes of use and go to sleep. That way the children won't get too sucked into their internet. Oh, so the robot goes to sleep after 45 minutes. We are becoming a society of fools. This is insane. People, don't subject your children to this thing. All right. Next story, we have the U.S. military is furious with FCC over the 5G plan. Like, guys, maybe 5G is something we stop, table for 2 years, and get some real data on. Okay? We got the conspiracy theorists saying that COVID's really 5G. We get the meteorologists are saying 5G is going to interfere drastically with our weather reports. We're going to reduce the response to hurricanes by up to a day. The military saying 5G is going to mess with our satellite information, and everyone's like, "You gotta move forward with 5G, full speed ahead, 5G." Oh my lands, people, we need to stop. I'm calling us to stop with all this 5G nonsense, and let's stop and do a little bit more research on it. Figure out what's going to make the military happy, what's going to make the meteorologists happy, and what's going to make the pyromaniacs in UK happy, and figure out what in the world we can do and stop pushing it forward, throwing everything else to the side, saying, it's all this conspiracy. Maybe we just need to stop and slow down. But if there's any good thing that come out of this, I would love to see a war between the military and the FCC. Bring it. I'll pay money to see this. I mean, come on. But yeah, military is basically telling the FCC that their 5G plan is going to completely interfere with GPS technology. You know, it's fairly important. Not only that, but man, 5G might prevent us from doing city geocaching for anybody who's into geocaching these days. So definitely interesting there. All right, from The Verge, Microsoft now blocks reply all email storms to end our inbox nightmares. This is good news. Microsoft is doing something good. They'll probably kill the program in a year or so, but this is mostly targeted towards business enterprise systems using the Office 365 Exchange Online system for business organizations. The idea is that if a reply all is going to have hundreds or thousands of recipients, it's just going to block those, because what happens is some people don't know how to use email right, and then they're going to send out an email. Like I had a picture, I'm not sure if I have it anymore, but I was on the Chamber of Commerce in the city when I lived out west, and their idea of sending an email out to everybody to alert them was literally to take an email form and literally BCC every single member in there. So I had a list that was this big of emails for every business person in the city in a plain text email. And if anybody got that email and says, I'm coming, every business person gets a copy. This is a good thing, honestly. So we see this, conversation is too busy with too many people. Basically, most of these cases don't need a reply all. Like right now I'm doing some things back and forth with 4 different people to get a website going. And so we're replying alling a lot, but we only have like 4 people on the team, so that's actually okay. So with that, Microsoft actually doing some decent stuff. Very nice of them. Very interesting indeed. Ford is promising quick over-the-air updates to brick all of its Ford Mustang Mach-E's. Great, that's all we need. Our cars to do automatic updates, i.e. a car on the internet is susceptible to hackers. I don't want my car on the internet. There's no reason my car needs to be on the internet. People, can we go out and let's all stop buying cars that are connected to the internet and tell the dealer, I don't want a car that's connected to the internet. Stop falling in love with, oh, it's so cool. Oh, it's a neat feature. Oh, it's so normy. Stop. Tell them I don't want a car that's connected to the internet because there's too many problems with it. There's too many problems with it. Okay? We don't need a car that's automatically updating and getting over-the-air updates. This is insane. This is insane. Stop. I wonder what comments are people. I wonder if people are OTA for what? Doesn't have enough sensors to be useful. Let's see. Unfortunately, the auto industry is slow at making its way to vehicles, so will require updates. Like, whatever happened to, like, getting something that's good, keeping it off the internet so it doesn't need an update? I mean, what needs updated on a car? Especially if it's not on the security updates. Keep the hackers out. I got an idea for that. Kill the connection to the internet. You don't need to worry about it. All right, Google is sending yet another service to the graveyard very soon. That is Google Play Music. Google Play Music is dying and becoming YouTube Music instead. And so you can actually take your Google Play libraries and port them over to Google as of this week. And at the end of the year, Google Play Music will cease to exist. So yes, don't get too attached to any Google product. They tend to... and this is the latest to hit the chopping block and enter the graveyard of googly gadgets. So if you are using Google Play Music, prepare for the bitter end. Whoa, what? I accidentally closed our next article. What was that article there? Let's see. Recently closed tabs. There it is. All right. From TechCrunch, something about, oh, that's right. Uber, if this thing ever loads. There you go. Uber is reportedly in talks to buy Grubhub. That's all we need. We have like 3 top delivery food services, and now we're going to kind of like buy up, consolidate them down, come closer to the monopoly. Coming closer to the monopoly, merging the 2 top ones together. And so, of course, I love the article. I don't think this was the article, but one of the other articles, it's like, yeah, Uber is repeatedly known for abusing customers. Grubhub is repeatedly known for abusing the business owners. Hey, let's just produce one giant thing that's the Gestapo of beatdown for everybody. Like, nobody in the world. You know, absolutely. Absolutely. And so Uber and Grubhub are in talks. There are already several cities that are kind of suing to prevent this from happening because it's a huge problem. But of course, these are 2 huge services that are really taking off. If you're really wanting to look for something to invest in, man, invest in something like this if you want to invest in a slimy company. I think Uber is wrapped up in one of my portfolios just because it's an aggressive tech portfolio, but unfortunately, or was that Tesla? I forget. One of them did something stupid, you know, but then it came back up. But anyway, that's that. All right. On to our next. This is a ZNet. This might take a minute to load. All right. So our feature article, Linux and not Windows. Why Munich is shifting back from Microsoft to open source again. So in reading through this, what we're seeing here is kind of a power play between a few different warring parties, and the party that has just won some of the leading positions is definitely more interested in the open source. And their point is correct that the reason we're doing this is because of the costs. It costs so much less. It's like, but we need to retrain people. So what? You retrain a couple people on software that's mostly similar to what you're already using anyway. And then you dump the licensing fee, and now you have a very good free and open source system you can use, and then you can use a fraction of the government budget that you were spending on just software fees, support the developers instead. I did like what they were doing. They actually developed a platform called Linux for Linux and Munich, and so right now, they're shifting back, and if you remember back in 2017, they were doing the plan to be shifted completely back to Microsoft by 2020. It's now 2020, and now they're shifting back to open source platforms instead. So eventually, they need to come up with some decisions to stick with it. But ultimately, they're not dumping everything and immediately all on Linux. It's just that prior to this point, they were slowly shifting stuff as it died to Microsoft. Now, as it dies, they're slowly shifting stuff back to Linux and other open source options instead. And so with that, we get another great push as Munich switches to Linux. All right, so if you like the story or any other stories, subscribe to the channel if you've not already. Go ahead and hit the comments there down below, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux. Alrighty, let's head on back to the comments. Alrighty, let's see. What are the A2 costs? Okay, so it depends on what you're doing. I think I'm paying like $350 every 6 months for a giant VPS that can host like 30, 40, 50 or so websites. I forget how much I have over there, but there's a lot of stuff on my A2 right now. So if you want to go down to if you're just looking for a simple shared basic hosting plan with a single website, you're actually only looking, I think your first billing cycle, which you can do a month, a year, or up to 3 years. Your first billing cycle is, I think it's $2.99 a month. And then after that, I think it goes up to like $8.99 a month at the lower rate. And then if you buy another year at a time, I think it's down to like $6.99 a month. So you're looking at roughly $100 a year for hosting on A2. And they do come with free SSLs and things like that. So, and they're a good company. As if the robot knows how to relate to humans. Insane, yeah. Want to install Peppermint OS onto a USB drive, but I don't want to risk breaking my laptop's grub bootloader. Just open, I mean, depending on the computer, you might be able to open it up and take out the hard drive. Are there other options to do that? There might be some other options to do that as well, but the government and companies can use that Moxie robot for spying, I bet. I should install Grub onto the USB drive, but how do I ignore my internal boot disk? I take it out. That's what I do. I take it out. If you have a soldered hard disk, that's harder, but I just take the hard drive out. It's very easy. Usually a couple screws and slide it out. Emulated intelligence. Oh boy. If you want your child to socialize, social skills, talk to them. That's right. Talk to your kids. Who would have thunk that an adult could actually talk to their kids? That's crazy. Anna Rita, you're talking crazy. And let them talk with other people, because talking to a robot is not going to help your child learn body language, which is part of socializing. Yeah, very good. Very good point. Remove laptop's hard drive, install Pepper into the flash drive, reinstall the hard drive. Yep. I like 5G, but who needs those speeds on a phone? Yeah. Listserv emails, yep. Play the part of Nero. I have dibs on it. Why would I need Wi-Fi in a car or toaster or shower or toilet or doorbell? Yeah, come on. I need over-the-air updates to my dungeon. Nice. Or all your prison doors are permanently locked until the over-the-air update is done updating and it gets bricked in the middle. Sorry, prisoner, you're stuck. Control Shift T to reopen a tab. Yeah. I can go up and just go to the recent tabs too. So, Tesla have auto updates or manual? You know what? I think they're okay. They have some over the air, and they do have some that are manual. Because I know there's cases where people have had to take their Tesla in for an update, but I know there's also a lot of them that are automatic as well. So I'm guessing maybe small updates or automatic, big ones go to the shop, I guess. Spotify to learn about new artists. Spotify, I guess, learn about artists and then buy the album online. There you go. Uber is not so secure, like it's entering a car with a stranger. Scary, yeah. You saying taxi? Do your saying taxi in the early 2000s is not secure? Well, there's a huge difference though, because in a taxi you're an employee, and there's a whole lot more vetting on an employee than filling out an online form with Uber. Huge different thing. Unfortunately, the market share of Linux has gone down somewhat or up somewhat. Steam, but in any case, is not taking off yet. No, that's fine. Make sure the robot is running Linux. There you go. Windows 10 market share has dropped. Has it? That's interesting. COVID-19 and bad updates are affecting Windows market share. Oh boy. Let's see. Fixing a broken bootloader is fun. Yeah. I somehow managed to strip the entire kernel off a system once. That was fun. All right. On to... What are we on? Oh, we're on Dystopia. Dystopia. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the Dystopian edition. How is all this craziness impacting us? Before we dive on in, if you are looking to upgrade your mobile service, consider looking at Mint Mobile. I switched my plans to Mint Mobile after a couple months of testing. Ended up saving about $700 this year. So I'm doing that upper plan, $15 a month for 3 gigabytes, because I actually only use a half a gigabyte. If you do need more, $25 a month for 12 gigabytes. And if you actually buy, the more of the plan you buy up front, the cheaper it gets. Those rates that I have there, I think those are the 3-month rates. So tlm.li/mm. Let's go ahead and dive on into Dystopia news. Let's see how this how this crazy thing in the world back here. Ooh, look at the viral Illuminati. Very nice, huh? And so what's going on in the world? Like, this entire COVID situation has totally flipped the world upside down, people. I mean, look at what this did in a very short period of time. Mexico is closing the border with the United States. The liberals in California are buying guns. And I have to agree with Elon Musk. So Elon Musk, after, of course, this fun wave, now we had the tale of two barbers, of course, this last week, where one of them is arrested and thrown in jail for opening her store and feeding her employees. Although the governor finally came down and released her and slapped the judge silly, completely reversing his decision, while he released her out of jail and the higher Supreme Court in the land nullified the lower judge's ruling. But then we have, on the other hand, up in Michigan, where the police said, we're not arresting this guy if he fails to close his business. And so the governor worked behind the scenes to pull his business license and telling him, if you go into there, we're going to throw you in jail. I don't know what police are going to throw him in jail. Now the police are going to arrest the guy, and then we're going to fine you $1,000 a day for opening your business. What in the world is going on? What? Hail Hitler! Hail Hitler! He's embodied the guy over the gal, actually, in Michigan. But Musk comes down and he's like, guys, I'm reopening and I'm going to be on the floor. And if y'all want to say something about it, come arrest me. He sits there and defies them, and best I know, nobody's really done anything to him yet, because what are you going to do at this point? So it's like, okay, guys, it's no secret. I am not a fan of Elon Musk, but I have got to stand 1,001% behind him on this, because what he's doing is he's actually saying, hey, guys, these are the facts. We're still operating on these doomsday projection models that we made when we didn't have any facts. He says, these are the facts. The facts don't support that there's a huge deal for the average person. We're reopening. Come and arrest us. And by the way, guys, if you've ever worked in that type of industry, you are inherently intrinsically social distanced. You're inherently intrinsically masked. You're inherently intrinsically gloved, because you have to have good, clean, sterile environments. It doesn't make any sense that a car factory should be forced to close. All right. So Elon Musk has come down saying, hey, I'm opening up. Come and get me if you got a problem with it. Come and get me. Come and get me. All right. So on to our next story here. So Mount Sinai and Google are teaming up to use Nest cameras to remotely monitor patients. So here's a picture of the doctors here, and the doctors down here are monitoring all these patients using Google's cameras. Google Nest cameras inside the hospital that are watching the people, sending the data up to the internet, into a cloud, and then back down through the internet into the hospital so the doctors can monitor. Didn't Google really want to collect a whole lot of patient health data a little while ago? Having trouble with some people like, I don't know if I really trust Google. And now they're like, hey, we got a solution for you. Just put the cameras in the room. We'll watch them for you. We'll listen for you. We can do everything. You can monitor everything from right here. So in-person checks on the patients are inherently risky, and that means using up valuable protective equipment, not to mention time. That might be necessary for urgent situations. Google and New York City's Mount Sinai Hospital have developed a safer approach. They're rolling out a new system that uses two per room, one to check on and interact with patients, and one to monitor the vitals. Oh boy! So Google gets to watch the people and the patient and the vitals at the same time. I mean, how much you want to bet that they're deploying AI to watch the facial expressions when the things go blip, blip, this is creepy, people. It's like, if I land in a hospital, I'd be like throwing stuff at these cameras. Just get these cameras out of here. No, don't monitor me. You want to monitor me, boy? You come on into the room. I'm not giving my data up to Google. Oh, boy. And so Now we have with The Verge, Twitter is now introducing new labels for tweets with misleading information. Now, we talked about this briefly on the show yesterday. What is misleading information? Misleading information, oh, well, anything that disagrees with who? Well, the Centers for Disease Control, the official place in the United States, disagrees with who? Or are you following them and disagreeing with who? Well, what about when all of these guys, which, by the way, the Centers for Disease Control is an inherently political organization. It's not a scientific one. It's driven more by politics than it is by science. It's driven more by corporate money and donations than anything else. It's driven by a lot of other factors than just this. And by the way, yeah, I understand it's government funded, not company funded, but we have this giant revolving door that President Trump promised to close, but he just made it go faster, apparently. And so what we see here is that the politics involved in this, well, what happens when the Journal of the American Medical Association comes out with something that's somewhat inherently different than what they say? Is it misinformation because it came from the most prestigious medical association journal in the United States, well, in the world, really? I'm sorry, I want to agree with the Journal of the American Medical Association before I agree with the CDC on any given matter. But now Twitter wants to be the ultimate arbiter. We agree with what's right and what's wrong. And we are going to cause you to know because we're going to mark things as fake or not fake based on our own individual rubric. What rubric are they going to be you might ask? Well, this is their rubric. You know, I was a teacher once in my past, and we had to have fun rubrics about grading policies. This is not a rubric. This is stupidity. Look at this. If it's moderate or severe, a rubric defines what's moderate and severe. If it's moderate, we put a bad label if it's misleading. If it's severe, it's removal. What is severe? Anything we disagree with. Unverified claim, it takes no action. A disputed claim. A disputed claim. Oh, so when a doctor on the front line of medicine disputes your claim, you put a warning. This is potentially dangerous. Or you give a warning for posting something that a frontline healthcare worker has actually suggested. This, people, is how they are shifting our viewpoints and causing us to think differently by providing to us the narrative that they want us to have. This is why I don't use social media. I don't use it. The reason I don't is because I do not want to be echo chambered or otherwise pushed into a specific talking point agenda. I don't want them to tell me what to believe. I want to investigate the information for myself. All right. So, we now have no Wired. I'm not interested in signing up for your crap. But the Hungry Rats might be because the Hungry City Rats are looking for a new lunch spot near you. So restaurants have shuttered up. The rats who depend on the eternal garbage buffet are becoming more bold and competitive. Now the rats are coming in and looking for homes instead. You throw out the extras in there. Ooh, the rats are coming. The rats are coming, people. The rats are coming. So this is just yet another case. We've had an epidemic of the subway rats in New York City are climbing up and walking down the streets. We have some towns where goats are roaming the streets, and we got some places where roaming monkey gangs are making major fights in the streets, dueling over the areas because tourism has died out, people. That is how insane this is, people. That is how insane this is. All right. So this is crazy. But yeah, the rats are coming out, the mice are coming out, and they're going to be looking for your houses instead because the restaurants are now closing out their official places. All right, so now on to a couple things. So Los Angeles, they're basically telling people, no, you're not allowed to go to work. No, you're not allowed to do anything. You're just going to have to get homeless. But don't worry, we're going to fund a homeless tent city. So LA wants a homeless tent city, declares it's going to be difficult but worth it. So, of course, you get the homeless people sometimes come on down and they're just kind of camping here. They want to make sure people have enough tents and they're putting in separate locations and they're like, All you guys that are losing your houses and life and everything because we're mandating you stay at home so that, because we're communist dictators or something. And so with all these guys coming through, we're going to take care of you guys. We're going to make sure you guys have a tent city to live in. Very good. Very good. Reminds me of some other camps that had been created for people that weren't allowed to do anything else either. But so you have a choice though. Do you want to go live, if you were booted out, do you want to go live in your tent city, or would you prefer the Doomsday Bunker? Because apparently there is a Doomsday Bunker community that is selling like hotcakes right now because of all this. So you can head on over. So this is actually the base of Black Hills in Fall River County. I guess that'd be South Dakota, I guess. Vizos has survival campuses in South Dakota where Tom and Mary live, and in Indiana. There is a down market bunkers cost roughly $35,000 each. So for $35,000, you can buy yourself a Doomsday Bunker. So if this is just becoming crazy, you're like, I'm going to quarantine anyway. I'm going to quarantine in style in a Doomsday Bunker. That's what I'm going to do, folks. Doomsday Bunker. So let me know in the comments. Do you want to go with Doomsday Bunker or city-sponsored tent city, or city-sponsored tent city? Give me your votes. Which one are you going with in this crazy, radical, weird dystopianness that's coming on out the pipeline? Let me know in the comments down below. All right, we got Sillyville's our last one. Sillyville. All right. Let's see. Link says 5% because you don't come over to alert everyone. Yeah. Windows ended at 7 for most people. Yep, I agree. MVU Vince, you understand the software? I'm a mechanical person, including computers. Yep. Understanding is a subjective word, yeah. Musk is right. The economy must move on, yeah. You cannot hide and be scared for months on end. Michigan Governor Whitmore sounds terrible. Oh, yeah. There was the fascinating Babylon Bee article. It was the Christian satire thing. They had an article that the Chinese dictator was praising her for even going farther than he's like we haven't even thought of some of this stuff, Very good. Yeah, she's crazy. Now, of course, Wisconsin, they were trying to close down Wisconsin, and Wisconsin goes back and says no. Was it the Supreme Court, I think, in Wisconsin said no, you cannot, the ability to declare a state of emergency is not perpetual. That's what they said. And they're like, no, you cannot force people into their homes. So, hey, Wisconsin looks like it's becoming another one of the states. I'm going to be compiling a list of states to go to if you're in one of these states that has you on perpetual lockdown. Take a mass exit it out. Texas, Florida, Georgia, they're all pretty much completely open. Then you had Utah, Wyoming, South Dakota, Nebraska, Oklahoma, Utah. They never even closed at all. They never did anything. Okay. Now, granted, I wouldn't use the Wyoming stats for a lot of things because the population is so low and the density is so low. But look at Utah stats, because there's some more desolate areas of Utah, but there was a lot of super highly populated areas. So you could literally compare Salt Lake City with a lot of other cities, and I'm willing to bet you don't find nearly as many issues there. So those are the types of things to look at. So Michigan, they struck down the governor's orders. Here in Pennsylvania, we're slowly starting to open up, but I'm still not allowed to handle my mullet yet. So I'm working a deal with a backdoor, back alley illegal haircutting place. Allegedly, disavowedly. So they're not letting haircut places open up in Pennsylvania. The parks still aren't open up, but a couple people can go back to work. It's not a lot different than it has been. Michigan Governor Witless. Let's see. Linux laptops are slowly gaining traction. Kubuntu Focus, too expensive, overpowered, though. Governors and mayors have no power to make laws. Yeah, Judge Napolitano. Yeah, so the problem is that a governor can declare a state of emergency, which can act as a law. The question in what Michigan just did is they said, hey, you can't do this perpetually. And so that's the thing. You can't do it perpetually. Elon has grown on you. I know, isn't it frightening? It's frightening when I have to do that. That barber is still cutting hair. The sheriff is refusing to go arrest him. Yeah. And I bet they're going to send him the $1,000 notices and $1,000 notices and $1,000 notices. And being as that the state and the Senate are fighting with Whitmore and still have some overturning in the courts that are progressing through the courts, my guess is that guy's just going to sit there and rack up his $1,000 bills and $1,000 bills and $1,000 bills, and then they're going to be overturned at the end. So, yeah. Must open with rules and we'll be okay. Funny thing is, here in the UK, the National Chief Medical Officer describing COVID as a bad flu, and YouTube has been removing that speech. I know, right? Put my whole internet history if I try to apply it to there, yeah. Konami now owns the property rights to TurboGrafx 16. Really? That's interesting. Busy watching the kids and the idiocy go on these days. Yep. Are you getting old? Yeah, I know. We're all getting old, man. I'm shocked that hospitals trusted Google. Yeah. So many HIPAA laws broken. Yep. Microsoft Teams has been doing well, too, with so many people working from home. Bit of luck there for Bill, eh? Yeah. Well, if healthcare workers are dropping like flies... There's a couple places where there's been a few, but I haven't seen a lot of evidence of healthcare workers dropping like flies. I can tell you that here in the United States, outside of a couple specific places, healthcare workers are losing their jobs like flies. That's what I'm seeing. Who isn't even led by a doctor, so why should anyone listen to medical advice? Yeah. Sometimes it makes me want to run off to the scrap heap. Yeah. 9% of COVID information is being spread by the so-called media is just plain wrong. Yeah, says the medical doctor. What would Tara Davis think about this? Yeah. Turn all humans into creatures and stop us from getting worse. Nah. Japan has an island infested with cats. Monkey gangs? Are you serious? Oh, yes. Yes, I'm very serious. See if I can find it. Okay, I think this is it. Okay, yeah. Here you go. From March 11th, Planet of the Apes, hundreds of hungry monkeys swarm across Thai streets as rival gangs fight over food after the tourists who normally feed them stay away because of the coronavirus. Here you go. Would you stop your nonsense? Stop. My God. There you go. Roaming monkey gangs. Yep. Roaming monkey gangs. Don't you normally want to avoid tent cities in certain sim games? I don't know. I haven't played a sim game in years. Let's see. LA, a tip. Just open up. Yeah. When I was younger, I want to make my own choice. My mom said, I'm your mom. And I said, fine. I wear the red 6 like you. Want me, but just I read the Red Sox, but me, but just the sock. The other one is blue. Just one of them. The other one's blue. Nice. Hermit's Cave is starting to look good right about now. Yeah. Once again, these Jesus freak doomsayers are defiling the Black Hills, sacred native lands. Really don't know why people are putting up with Windows 10. I don't know either. Bunker can be converted into a COVID chamber. Good excuse to buy a new powerful computer so you can still get up here in Canada. Daycare will open next week. Yay! I think people here have ever been to Salt Lake City or Wyoming. Most have no clue as to how some states are different. Yep. All right, Dark Prince. We are going to stop talking about Jesus freaks. Mods, go ahead and take down anything else he's saying about it. It is not the Christian view, and your statements are too divisive for what we're discussing. Okay, we're not talking about Christian theology and thoughts here. So that is the warning. Okay, did you see the video of the monkey riding the bicycle to attack some kid? No, I didn't. Mentioned Doom Eternal improving Dunavo anti-cheat, which screwed over Linux compatibility. No, I did not see it. All right, last topic. Let's head on over to Sillyville. All right, guys, let's head on over to Sillyville. Welcome back to the Weekly News Roundup. Welcome to Sillyville. The place that makes us just go, what? So first to start off, mystery gnomes just keep on showing up in nature preserves across Pike County, Pennsylvania. Known for its trails and woodland meadows, wildlife, and now something else right out of a storybook. So you're walking down a trail and suddenly you see a giant garden gnome in random places in this little trail. It makes me want to start going out and throwing garden gnomes all over the place. And so here what we see is there is, 300-acre conservation site that's been attracting visitors far and near, and those include garden gnomes. So nobody really knows where these guys are coming from, but you look around here, and you're just going to find some garden gnomes all over the place. That's kind of neat. Makes me want to go find out where it is and hike. Can't be more than 3 hours away from me. I'm 3 hours from everything in this state. All right, next question. Can gender-bending Israeli super prawns help feed the world? What? All right, so they're not kosher, but they may be part of a greener, more sustainable food chain. Is the article here forgetting how many people are actually related are actually allergic to seafood? I have a sneaky suspicion that gender-bending Israeli super prawns will kill somebody with a shellfish allergy. Just a sneaky suspicion. So yeah, apparently these shrimp here, little blue crustaceans lurking within the massive aquaculture tanks, are actually happy, but they certainly appear to be content. Perhaps because they're very well fed, blissfully unaware of what lies just outside the laboratory, a harsh, dry environment of the desert. So apparently what they have is these are giant lobster guys that you can use over here to just kind of giant lobster guys to help increase the food supply, because of course they all want us to eat bugs and things like this. And the argument is, oh, well, bugs are very close to lobster. Lobster are kind of like bugs, just in the sea, and we eat those all the time. So sustainability, stop eating cows and stuff because that's killing the planet. Go for eat bugs instead. But hey, you can eat the gender-bending super prawns instead. I don't know, guys. I don't know. The first thing I thought of, what about those poor people with shellfish allergies? I don't know. Anyway, Apple's $700 Mac Pro wheels do not work well on skateboards. So this company actually bought the $700 wheels to bling out a skateboard with it. Oh, look at this. Here's the skateboard with the Mac grill there on it. Look at that. Very nice. But they did say that they were absolutely horrible wheels. It was pretty much impossible to actually do anything with these guys. So that's that. Don't use the MacBook, the Mac Pro wheels for your skateboarding needs. So for $700, apparently they developed wheels that don't even roll right. I don't know. All right. Another one of these that makes us go. Now, we have the media sitting here saying, President Trump told people to drink bleach and bleach poison is so up. So some moron actually decided to do the research and found that bleach poisoning was on the rise, up 38% even before Donald Trump told people to go drink bleach or something. This is like, people, okay, sodium hypochlorite is not safe for you to eat. It's not safe for you to breathe. It's for cleaning your counter, nothing else. Okay, just thought. Okay, but the National Poison Data System says the growth of poisoning started weeks before everybody told President Trump apparently to drink and suck down bleach, which no, he never did. Those people are like, oh my God, he said something, and people are morons in this planet. So here is actually the cases of bleach poisonings. And this is kind of the average. Like, this is what baffles me the most. I think that this line is the number of cases. I hope this is the number of cases and not the number of cases times 1,000. Because if 100,000 people in America are poisoning themselves with bleach every month, I'm sorry, we got serious problems. So I'm guessing this is 100 or so. So between 100 and 150 or so people a day poison themselves with bleach. Maybe, let's see. So this is like January 25th. This is like March. So, and then what happens is over here is when we start to see the spike. And what day was it that he made his glorious announcement? April 23rd. People are saying, April 23rd, people said he told us to drink bleach. No, he didn't. For you people that can't even sit down and you're so triggered, you're like, I'm triggered, I can't even hear him talk. And then you go on and proceed to tell us what he said. Why don't you watch the press conference first? But anyway, that was April 23rd. This is March 13th. This is when the rise in bleach consumption poisoning went up. Why? I don't know. I haven't a clue. But April 23rd, this is the point in time when he said something, when CNN told us that President Trump told us to drink bleach. No, Trump did not tell us to drink bleach. CNN told us that Trump told us to drink bleach. FYI. So you can see that it spiked and was going back down. And actually in the recent weeks, it's dropped way back down. It's not quite close to our basal levels of 100 bleach poisonings a day. Here's case counts, disinfectants. Oh, what was, did I have the right compound? Yeah, that was bleach. Here's disinfectants. Again, disinfectants shot up. Like, what? Who is poisoning themselves 40 to 60 cases of disinfectants? I really hope this is children and stupid parents that didn't block up your chemicals. And then over here, we have hand sanitizer cases. Hey, we had an early spike here. I presume we didn't get a massive spike here because nobody could buy hand sanitizer. That's my theory. I'm sticking to it. Yeah, well, if you're over in, I think this is Singapore. If you're over in Singapore and you leave home without your face mask, there's now going to be face mask vending machines. Is there anything else we need to say about this? Like, you got to go in, you slide in your credit card, and I'm telling you, you slide in the credit card, and you're just like, nice, very cool. You can slide it in. Get your face mask. Vending machines. Telling you. All right. On to our feature story. The concept that... would you shut up with your auto-playing crap? This is why your website sucks. Look at this. I'm pushing the stop button, and it's not stopping. Okay. So, CNN put together a panel of COVID experts to talk about a town hall. Okay? So we have a town hall with COVID experts. COVID experts. They added Greta Thunberg, the 16-year-old tool of her parents and their friend, the environmentalist lobby. If you want to quench the conspiracy theorists that say all this whole thing is to push a global agenda, you need to stop doing stupid stuff like this, like putting an uneducated, teenage, fake environmentalist activist who is sick, who's used by her parents to push a social agenda on a panel that's supposed to be experts about COVID. And then when the whole world exploded about it, they defended it. We think that a climate change activist has something to bring to the table. The climate change activist doesn't even have climate change to bring to the table. She's not capable of holding a conversation without someone else handing her a script. She's got no place. She's got no place except go back to school, kid. Learn something. Please learn how to think for yourself. Greta Thunberg added to the panel of CNN's expert coronavirus, and Twitter erupts. Upcoming CNN town hall on the coronavirus will feature 17-year-old Greta Thunberg alongside a panel of medical experts. The program, Coronavirus Facts and Fears, also included CNN broadcaster Sanjay Gupta, 50, former Health and Human Services Secretary Kathleen Siblis, 71, and former Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Why is it all these former people? Interesting. However, social media watchdogs are foaming at the mouth of the choice to place a teen climate activist on a panel with public health experts. What place does Greta Thunberg have in a town hall? His rhetorical question was liked by more than 12... No! Hey, New York Post, that's not a rhetorical question, it's a real one. For the love. Her name is a top trending term on Twitter with some 30,000 mentions on the platform in just a few hours. In a follow-up tweet, Ali clarified his rhetorical tweet. I understand that, but this panel of top health experts and administrators, a climate activist would be better suited on a different panel. She's not a climate scientist. It's a matter of placement. Yeah, she's not a scientist at all. She's supposed to be a student, but she's not even that because people have been using her as a tool to push an agenda. My lands, please send her back to school. CNN's social media was soon served an onslaught of virtual eye rolls. This is why no one's taking you serious. Greta Thunberg, now she's a COVID expert. I wonder if Twitter will take this down. I mean, after all, they're putting a non-expert on a supposed experts panel. If anything needs to come down from YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and all these other sites that are saying, we're going to fight misinformation, why don't you prevent a teenager who's not a scientist from being on a panel that's supposed to be scientists? Really? Not picking on the kid, another said, picking on the news network for featuring a child to inform the public. I remember when my thread about E. coli and romaine lettuce went viral and trended on Twitter, only to have CNN put Food Babe on the air to discuss the issue, tweeted Eugene Gu. Referring to another controversial health expert in the media, Greta Thunberg on this panel is an improvement from that at least. Really? Who is that person? If Greta Thunberg is a step up. I'm missing something funny. Some have come to Thunberg's defense. Why, Alexa? Why? Including more than a few public figures arguing that the voice of youth who will come to inherit an earth doomed by future pandemics and climate disaster may actually have something to add to the conversation. No, she doesn't. Know what she'll add to the conversation? How dare you? I don't know what else to say. Ask someone else. I don't know. Unqualified men appear on cable all day. Bloviating? I don't even know that word. Endlessly, but Greta is a bridge too far? Okay. She has extraordinary knowledge. No, she doesn't. She has an extraordinary ability to read scripts that have been handed to her. She's the next generation that has left to clean this mess we've made. Yeah. So, this is why I have a hard time taking anything CNN says seriously. We're going to put together a COVID expert panel. I got it. Greta Thunberg. A 16-year-old person who's not a scientist or a medical person or a policymaker or anything. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm just lost for words. Alrighty. Never trusted The Who. The guitar player is creepy. Well, we have an uncle that fiddles about. Honey, it's Sillyville time. Oh, boy. Feelings on Nomad BSD. I don't have feelings on Nomad BSD. Wish Microsoft and Google had shut down. Yeah, it's not going to happen, unfortunately. Anyone watch a video on KDE Plasma 519 preview build? No, I did not. GMO seafood, yeah. I need a gender-bending shrimp girlfriend. We'll get you one. Eat mud bugs instead. Mud bugs or mug bloods? Ooh. If you're Alex Jones, you eat mug bloods. I'll eat your... Never mind. I'm not going to complete that sentence. Never had nor never will eat lobster, aka crayfish. They're cockroaches of the sea. I think it traces back to arachnids. Yeah. Fancy wheels. Anyone recall a classic film where dogs morph into lobsters? No. No, Trump did not tell that to the public. Big kitty comes up. Big kitty coming up to play. Buddy. Oh. Don't lay on the keyboard, kitty cat. Wife just said, and Trump is the president. Yeah. No, he didn't. My fault people couldn't find Lysol. I told them bleach kills anything. Oh, at least they can't blame the Dead Milkmen song Bleach Boys. Can't get HDMI audio working on KDE. Oh boy. Why have people become so brain dead? I don't know. How dare you? I've no issues with HDMI audio on Mint, Manjaro, Kubuntu, and several other distros. Being experts, they are fake what? Yeah. Believe it might be just selecting the HDMI source, whether it be from TV or monitor. She's a child. She may figure it out when she gets older. Maybe she will figure it out in later years. Yeah. Oh, I'm trying to get speakers from a monitor or TV with HDMI connection. Yeah. I do not necessarily agree with all your views. You're still a great privacy advocate and enjoy your news roundups and climate privacy. Climate advocates don't believe. Yeah. Hey, we can disagree on several things. That's okay with me. I don't mind. Haven't done that. If you go back to Manjaro or try to live boot and see if you can find your TV or HDMI and audio options. Yeah. Greta's not going to inherit diddly squat. We're the ones who will have to support her on the account. She won't have any skills to be employed. Yeah, but if you send her back to school, she's got hope. The fact that most do not have or use critical thinking on the society that push the ignorant or unknowing, yeah. We need to put Bill Nye on the expert panel to reopen the economy. He makes about as much sense on the panel as Greta Thunberg. You've seen Tommy. Yeah, it was an eye-opener for me. Yes, I've seen Tommy. Well, I've seen it. I've listened to it. I don't think I have any Who albums anymore. I don't know why I don't. I don't know when I got rid of my Who albums. I don't know. Found out recently that MPV doesn't use hardware acceleration by default. Yeah, I think that they did that intentionally? I can't remember. Software to use for your mail server. I just use cPanel systems built into my VPS. Seems to work best for me. Alrighty. Well, I think what we'll do... Greta looks exactly like her father. Well... Let's go ahead and see if any friends of Switch to Linux are on that we can go raid. Not seeing anyone. Not seeing anyone. All right, let's see. Mail cow's good. Yeah, Quint uses mail cow. That's good. Yeah. CJ kitty snack time. Yep. Come on. Don't go yet, Moonbase Alpha. We're feeding the kitty right about now. Oh boy, kitty. Yeah, and right here. Are they finger licking good? They are. They're finger licking good. Yeah, you're finger licking good, aren't they? Let's see. Last couple comments here. All right, Moonbase, now you can go. Kitty's fed. All right, Cinnamon is more stable, but its GUI is way more like XP Vista. Kitty is more like Windows 10. No, Cinnamon 4 is more like Windows 10. Manjaro KDE Edition has the latest software, can hold any versions by downgrade feature. Yeah. Watch Tommy in the theaters. Wow. All right, guys, we're going to wrap up here. Thanks for hanging out, everyone. We should do a live stream tomorrow. Not sure what it might be on, but we'll see. We'll see. Keep an eye on the channel. Who knows? Maybe I might just say, I'm just going to spend the time doing audiobook stuff instead. I got I think I have 9 chapters left to record, which is a lot. So Anyway, guys, we will catch you guys later. Have yourselves a good afternoon, and good chance we'll stream tomorrow. Small chance we may not, but we will catch you guys later.